Well, I said that I wasn't going to talk about this on the podcast, but I'm going to bring it up real quick, just because there was a development, okay,
of a third nipple.
Well, they say they can remove it, and I believe them.
They say a lot of things.
No, okay, so here's what happened. Between the last time you and I talked, when I, by the way, smoked that trivia challenge.
I just as a side, I went from planning that trivia episode to going, let's see what percentage he gets out of 100. Then when I started asking it was going on the trend of, oh gosh, he might get them all.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to feel about it. Like, I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset I'm disappointed I wanted to stump you. I was just disappointed in thinking, did I pick questions that weren't hard enough? But I think the ultimate answer was I think
they were hard.
I think they were hard. I honestly think that. And so I think as kudos to you, you just shone in your knowledge of pop culture things. And
I'm also the first to admit, and I did admit, some of those were sheer dumb luck. Yeah. Right, like some of those I just got stupid lucky. They were shots in the dark.
There were some that were like numbers based, like how many, and I forget what it was, but it was like pick a number from some movie thing, and you're like, oh, I think it's this. Yeah.
What year was Dirty Dancing set in?
Right,
was one of them.
Yeah,
1962, by the way. For those playing along at home. So, anyways, between then and now, we had a cat medical emergency. Cat swallowed something the cat shouldn't. It was the general professional consensus that the odds of passing it on his own were nil, were very slim, like extremely slim. And the repercussions of trying to see if he'll pass it himself and then discovering that he hasn't or is not going to were serious repercussions, right? Like surgery and removing sections of his intestines and like just the type of things that not only do you not want to pay for, but you also just don't want, it's just like a god-awful recovery process for the cat, and then it's like probably special diet for the rest of the cat's life, and just like all these, whatever.
It's not the type of thing where if you say no, it's going to be, okay, well, we'll have to do an afternoon of Lipton soup for the cat and give it some, neti pot. Like, it's not great.
No, we're going to open your cat up. And so, so we got lucky in the sense that by the time they were able to have someone on site to do what needed to be done, it was still in his stomach. And so they were able to go in with a scope through the mouth and remove it that way. In fact, some of it, it was a long chunk of string, basically. And it had actually started to leave his stomach. But they were able to pull it back in and then
get back here.
Yeah. So anyways, and then, you can imagine, I'm not going to talk about this part on the podcast, but you can imagine the bill that comes with something like that. But so anyways, part of this process obviously is knocking the cat out, right? Because you can't go down, you can't do a scope. We don't even do scopes. Like, I had a scope years ago and I was put under for it. Right. Sure. So it's not even just like, oh, the cat's a cat and isn't going to sit still. It's a horrible process. Like, we don't want your gag reflex going off. We don't want, any of these things. So actually, I saw you the day that I had that scope done.
That's right.
No, No, that was my wisdom teeth. No, different day. That was when I had my wisdom teeth out. Anyways,
either way, it was still days I was stalking you, and your family was concerned that I was not following the restraining order so badly.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell are you doing here?
Like, listen, can we not escape you somehow?
Yeah, like I haven't even left. Like, I'm trying to shower here. I haven't even left for the hospital. What are you doing? So anyways, so they knocked the cat out, right? And I know that, like, because they have to do X-rays, and the cat's not going to sit still for the X-ray, and like, and I know that with people, most of the time, unless there's like an issue and we got to wake you up now, we just kind of let people wake up. Right? Like, it was just kind of, we stop giving them the drug that is knocking them out, and then they're going to wake up. And I don't know if it's the same for cats. Like, I don't know if they just let it wear off, or if they give the cat something to wake them up. Or if it's just, I mean, surely there's also pain medication and whatever. Like, there's stuff that they're giving to, you know, people. Like, if you're having a surgery done and you're a human, and there's going to be pain and stuff, like, you know, they give people like fentanyl, right? And so I don't know if there's like a cat fentanyl equivalent. Anyways, when the cat finally came home, even shining,
I love how deep into the cat like medical MD we were getting. Like, even I feel like we're here. Continue.
Even shining my cell phone flashlight into the cat's eyes would not make his eyes constrict.
Oh, wow.
They were so dilated. So dilated, you couldn't make out any color. They were just black, right? Like, the cat was high out of his mind when he came home. And for anyone who has a cat, you know that cats sleep like 16 hours a day, or, you know, whatever. Like, but like, that's actually like medically what they need. They're supposed to sleep like a lot. Right?
Okay. Yep.
I think he was awake for, I'm going to say 28 hours.
Oh gosh.
Like, came home, didn't sleep that night, was up all the next day, and you could tell that he was tired. Like, you could look at him, and he looked like just pummeled.
Oof.
But I think it was like a combination of, like, didn't feel safe falling asleep.
Oh, yeah.
And also, there are so many drugs still in my system that I just can't. You're
not running on a normal tank of gas.
Yeah, I don't know if they gave him like uppers or like but he was just like, like, yeah, the cat could have used a Valium. He could have used what's the other one I'm thinking of? Is completely irrelevant, but I need to, what?
Like,
hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Men podcast. I am Peter. My not a cat doctor, but plays one on TV friend is Brady. And it's speaking of like animals getting stoned, I recently was talking to someone who took their dog for a walk, and they like let it go free, like on a leash in a park for a bit. And it came back and was acting very odd and very weird. And the long story short is it somehow got into some edibles that someone just left in a park, and literally ate marijuana edibles and was high as a kite.
Right. That's, you know, I was thinking of, not Xanax, but Xanax is a downer.
Gosh. Let me start talking about what we're here to talk about. And
hang on. Let me just ask. I just need to ask you this, because
sure.
We have, we haven't specifically said where you work or what you do, but we've said that you work in the medical community.
Sure.
And so I'm going to ask you like a medical question here.
Sure.
Do they within the medical? I mean, I know that it's probably not like, like the textbook, like the Latin version of the scientific, whatever. But do doctors and nurses and orderlies and, whatever else, y'all say uppers and downers? Like, is that terminology that is used, or is that just like street drug
I
language?
think that's street. Like, to me, when I hear those terms, I don't think a hospital setting. I think like season 1 True Detective, Matthew McConaughey.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah. You know,
Fest or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. Dick Tracy.
I love the spicy and unique tangents that you lead us on. It gives this show some variety. And
it was just bizarre. It was just a bizarre, it was cute at first watching him walk around and stumble and whatever, but then eventually it was just like, I'm like laying on the bed with him. Instead of getting the stuff done that I'm supposed to be getting done, I'm like laying down on the bed with him, like stroking his, like, just please, just give in.
Go to sleep.
Like, just go to sleep. Dude.
Yeah. Like, we got you. We got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor thing. Well, I hope it's feeling better. That's not a fun ordeal for your cat or for your family. That's not fun.
Oh, no. Yeah. He's back to being an asshole.
Okay. Well, that's good news.
It was money well spent. Yeah.
And speaking of, we're here to review 1990 Vote 2, where we had some options. A lot of different votes that came through. A lot of tiered votes. Like, we had some people hedging their bets saying, I'm going to give multiple vote options. So if this is in the lead, this is my vote. If this is in the lead, that's my vote. If it doesn't work, then this. Like, there was like some contingency, some hedging your bets, but ultimately in last place was Problem Child. A vote of yours. And what led you to bring forth the Problem Child?
Because it's my party and I'll cry if I want to.
Right.
You've seen Problem Child, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like I saw it as a kid. On TBS right here. I couldn't think of the name, but yeah, John Ritter. I remember. I mean, it's a couple things. It's a movie that I saw when I was young. Mm-hmm. So there's a nostalgic factor there. Yeah.
It's and John Ritter, right?
Yeah.
The late great John Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was all. It was just just because of that. Yeah. There was no.
That would have been an interesting one to rehash. At least for me, I would have been interested, but.
Especially because I think, like, I remember it fondly, but ultimately I don't think it's great. Like, I think it's an annoying movie.
I think
it's an annoying movie.
I doubt it's good. You might be right. I think it's probably on the annoying side. Like, I wouldn't have held high hopes of it being like a hidden gem or a uncovered gem. But
Michael Richards, Gilbert Gottfried. These are names that I was not.
Gilbert Gottfried. Okay, that rings a bell. I forgot he was in that. Yeah,
but Michael Richards too.
Now, who's that? Just for
Kramer from Seinfeld.
What?
Yeah.
I have no memory of him being in this. Okay,
I think he plays a villain in it. Yeah. He tries to like kidnap. He's like a home invader or something.
Sure.
And the kid is just so insufferable that he like foils. Very similar to the Christopher Lloyd Dennis Menace thing.
Right.
Yeah.
We should review that. I'm just off the cuff.
Dennis Menace, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Walter Matthau.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah. I remember some of those scenes in that film just laughing out loud. Actually, to be quite honest, the ones around Christopher Lloyd playing that man. There's something about
just like a dirty homeless guy.
Dirty in every sense of the word. Okay. Third place, we had Kindergarten Cop. And, okay, so it got
I think you put that one forward, right?
I think so. I had a horse in this race. I kind of wanted that one to win. I've got this special, like, I've seen it once, and I think it was a recommendation of yours. I know Carl holds it highly. It was one of those movies that, for me, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I only knew him in his really action-heavy roles. In his Jingle All the Way was really the only thing I knew him where he kind of showed some character emotion. And I thought Kindergarten Cop was the first one that really exposed me to, is he, does he have 27 Oscars on his shelf? Is he everyone's favorite, most talented actor? No. but he can show this different
diverse.
depth. He's very diverse, and it's overall just a funny, cute 90s movie.
Yeah.
So I would have had
especially when he picks up the chubby kid who's eating everyone else's lunches and yells, "Just stop," or whatever it is. Okay. Just stop it.
Well, the other reason, shout out to Lisa, friend of the show. The other reason,
like my mom.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to out it. Like,
whatever. I'm proud.
No, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just.
What are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. Lovely woman. I agree with her.
Like most of my life.
I would agree with her that I did want Kindergarten Cop to win also just so we'd have more Arnold impressions from
more of the Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all you get.
Put the cookie down.
Yeah, no, can't do it. That's jingle all the way.
Yeah, we just had Christmas. It's close enough.
It's fair.
Second place.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you...
was mine.
Yeah, I'll let you decide, or not decide, I'll let you talk about why you brought it forward. But in some of the voting options, it was interestingly mentioned, it's an important movie in the comic book perspective of, being one of those earlier adaptations. So what made you bring this forward?
A couple of things. I've said, I don't know if I've said it in episodes with you. I've definitely said it with Carl. Anytime we've talked about TMNT news, I'm not I didn't grow up a Ninja Turtles kid, right? Like it wasn't. I had a couple of toys. I think I still have a couple tucked away in a cardboard box that my grandmother had bought at a yard sale or something.
That's cool.
And it was it was like your 90s style action figure, but it was a turtle and you could open up the shell on the back and fold his arms and legs into the shell and then fold out you could turn it back into spin the head around and turn it just into a turtle.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
So you could kind of simulate the transformation. And then I think there was a Bebop or the two villain guys. Of note,
I don't remember the shows or anything other than that, but I do remember the toys big time. I do remember the toys.
I watched the live action one. God, it's probably 12, 13 years old now. But the first of the live action ones that came out in the 21st century, partially because it had Stephen Amell in it. And Johnny Knoxville played one of the turtles, and so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm interested, and whatever. But this one, I had seen it as a kid, and there's just something to me about that, the era in Hollywood with the sort of foam latex full body suits. I'm almost wondering, it wouldn't surprise me if you told me that the Jim Henson Company had something to do with the turtle costumes, right? It was just that that time where it was we can't do this digitally convincingly.
Right.
And so we're going to do it this way instead. and I think it holds up better, right? Because you're not it's everything's, as long as you get them painted properly, right? It has the right sort of transparency to the green and whatever, so that you can kind of sort of convey an organic look. Then you're just lighting a scene, right? And everything's there and it's tangible, and it's not it's good CGI, but it's obviously CGI, and it's what. So I just like the tangibility of that, right? But I've never watched a Ninja Turtles cartoon. I've watched this one. I think maybe the sequel to this one, and then the first of the newer ones. But I haven't watched any of the others. I'm not a massive Ninja Turtles person. It's just not my, I'm not one of those ninjas are so cool. I don't care. I just don't care.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm more interested in like ooey gooey cheesy looking pizza and cowabunga dude and, you know, like sort of the camaraderie between them than I am the actual like martial arts and fighting. And yeah, I just don't care.
Yep. Oh, that's fair. So then, big time in the winning role, we had Dick Tracy, like big time, but it had a lot of common vote, a lot of Patreon supportage.
Now,
so
had you seen it?
No. So
okay.
Kind of like Marshall. Well, not like that in so many ways, but Marshall had not seen, but he was curious how it held up compared to the book that he had read, and I had not read the book.
So it's a comic series.
Sure.
Like it's a comic book started in 1931 and is still running.
Oh, it's still running. That I did not know that. I knew it was.
I was reading up on that earlier, and it's like, you know, the artist in charge changed as recently as 2017.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I as I've said on the show in the past, and you've echoed this too, I'm a huge Dick Van Dyke fan. I think he is one of my favorite all-time actors. Love him in his prime, but he's still got some really good stuff in his golden years. But in all the years of me looking at his filmography, this has always stuck out to me. And I didn't know what role he played in this, but I've always kind of had, I don't know, some meh when I looked at this, and so I've never been intrigued to watch it enough, but I was always having it on my radar knowing that Dick Van Dyke was in this. So that's the only thing I really knew about this movie, is that Dick Van Dyke was in it. And then when I started looking up more, when it was winning the votes, and I saw who was in it, and I saw some of the different kind of costume designs and things, so I was intrigued the more I was looking into it, and the more I was finding out I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I too had not seen it. I put it forth as a vote option because it's iconic, right? Like people know this movie. I did not know that Dick Van Dyke was in it.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know Dustin Hoffman was in it.
Right.
I didn't know Al Pacino was in it.
Right.
I didn't know that Madonna was in it.
Right.
I didn't know that the kid who plays Robin Williams' son, Jack from Hook, was in it.
Oh, I didn't know that the same boy who played the son in What About Bob was in it.
Yeah. And so what I knew it was Warren Beatty. I knew that I was pretty sure he was a detective.
And he directed it too, did he not?
Yes. Yeah. And then obviously most people are familiar with, like, even if you haven't seen Dick Tracy, you don't know anything about Dick Tracy, you're familiar with the imagery of the yellow suit and the hat.
Sure.
Right. You know the imagery.
Yep.
And that was it. That was all I knew going in.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, and here we are.
Should we do initial impressions?
Yeah, let's do it up.
Okay. I think it's fun to look at. With the like intentionally bad map paintings and the, you know, sort of that like weird surrealism kind of feel to it. The landscape shots and stuff. You know, intentionally bad effects of cars driving through cities and stuff like that. Like it's all supposed to not quite feel 3D at times, almost like 2.5D sort of. So I think it's fun to look at. I think there are some standout moments and some standout characters. Obviously, because it's Danny Elfman, I think the score is fantastic.
You would. Yep, you would.
I think the story falls pretty flat.
Yeah, okay.
And I think there's just not a lot. There's not enough going on. I think the story's not like what exactly is going on, and like what direction we're headed in, and what the motive is here isn't always 100% clear. And then even when it is clear, I don't think they're really reinventing the wheel at all. I think they're just like it's just kind of whatever. Then so that's my initial impression. Obviously, we'll break that down.
Yeah, no. I'd echo a lot of what you're saying. You know, like I said, I was excited to see a film with Dick Van Dyke in it. His role was really minor and was really, you know, like an antagonistic role. So, you know, it didn't live up to what I was hoping it would be. I was intrigued by the cast list. I was intrigued by some elements. I think in some ways I was different than you. You know, I kind of liked the backdrop and how tacky it was. I just really enjoyed it.
Oh, no, I'm saying I do like that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. Yeah, I think it's fun to look at. I think it's a fun to look at film.
At the same time, in the same vein, like I understand that it kind of goes hand in hand, but there were some things that I just really thought were weird choices that didn't work for me. Kind of the prosthetic choices of some of the villains and all these kind of weird shaped faces and hairdos and just some of the things were just very...
From what I've seen... Yeah. That's consistent with the comics. That's what they look like and the names of them and, you know,
sure.
Not to defend the choice.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's still tacky. You know, maybe there was more, I don't know with the artistic tone that they're wanting, but I think there's alternative choices that they could have done. I guess in the end, I was a little disappointed. There were some moments that I thought were intriguing. I liked some of the costume designs and the colors. It was just some of the really prosthetics and character designs that I disliked. And like I said, there's some twists and turns that I enjoyed. I was truly blown away by the Madonna mask reveal at the end. I will give kudos to that.
I had no idea.
I had zero
clue. Didn't see it coming at all. But then as soon as they did, it all made sense.
Sure.
Right? It made sense why this person was specifically going after Big Boy or whatever his name was.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, ultimately, I do think the story kind of falls a bit flat, and there's times I'm just, you know, scratching my head wondering what are we doing here, whether it's times where Dick Tracy is screwing things up with his dame and kissing Madonna and going, you know, guy, what direction are we going here with? Or, you know, kind of at times you're wondering, is this a normal universe? And then you look at people's heads and lips and noses, like in this poker game, and you're going, okay, kind of what the hell's going on here? Like just some things of, you know, A doesn't really connect with B. You know, even in the ending when there's that whole gun shootout and like Dick Tracy unloads on this group of villains, and he has no, like, your dame is somewhere in this group of villains. Like, why are you just unloading without caution? Like, anyway.
Well, because it's set in like the 30s or so, 20s, right? So whatever.
Shoot first, ask questions later. So anyway, I that is my initial impression.
Cool.
So sorry, let's go, we usually go through the cast and we kind of went through it already.
Yeah.
So I just want to confirm, did you go through, you said Al Pacino, and clearly it's, I guess not quite to the same degree of Penguin with Colin Firth.
Right.
But it's close.
With the unrecognizability, you mean?
Yeah. I think like the voice is very recognizable, but it's a very similar esque.
The voice, the voice is so recognizable, and it's almost like Al Pacino. Like the voice sounds like when other people are doing an impression of Al Pacino and hamming it up.
Yeah,
right, like playing into his tropes.
Yeah,
right. Like it's almost Al Pacino being self-aware and hamming it up. And I will tell you that, not knowing that Al Pacino was in this. Right, prior to watching it.
Sure.
And thinking of Al Pacino as the Godfather. And, you know, those sort of like serious, I mean, he's playing a gangster in this, so that's it's consistent with what you would think of as Al Pacino. But thinking of that and thinking obviously of Scarface as the big one. Not that Big Boy was my favorite character, but some of my favorite standout moments of this was, I can't believe that Al Pacino's doing these things. Like, I can't believe he's dancing. He's there with the practice for the showgirls, and he's doing the dance moves the way that he is, or that he's like I was just, it's kind of like when Michael Bolton showed up in the Lonely Island Jack Sparrow song, and you were like, holy crap. Right? Like, I've only ever thought of Michael Bolton as like the serious singer guy.
Yeah.
And so to see him like just give in to silliness, that was really funny to me. It was a really unique, over the top, silly thing for someone like Al Pacino. And so that to me was a huge standout in a positive way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned James Caan.
I did not.
So the boy, our homeboy from what's the horror guy? Stephen Hawking? No. Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Our boy from the film Misery, which coincidentally I think was also our other 1990 vote.
Oh, it couldn't have been, because we did Misery forever. It better not have been, because then I feel like we're really just not getting
churning through
done.
The votes. Yeah, it was. I'd have to look. I think maybe between there was like a Christmas vote and then like a couple Halloween votes or something.
Right. Yeah.
I'd have to look. But yeah, James Caan. Did you mention? You did mention the child from What About Bob and from Hook. Did you mention Mandy?
Hang on. I'm not seeing James Caan in the cast list here. I'm not doubting you.
No. You're not.
James Caan.
Is he not? What?
Who's he
Dick
play?
Tracy. There's a few in here that I didn't recognize.
Are you? He is. There he is.
Well, but also I'm on the Wikipedia, so that always kind of
No. He's in there.
So let's fact check some of these other ones. So James Caan, didn't recognize who he was. He was Spud Spaldoni.
Spaldoni? Yeah.
Spaldoni. Then we had Mandy Patinkin, who is Inigo Montoya from Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
We had the What About Bob kid. Is it true? This is what Wikipedia is telling me, that we had Kathy Bates and Catherine O'Hara.
Maybe tucked into. See, that's the thing, is you could put them in so much.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates and Catherine O'Hara.
So I thought I recognized Kathy Bates.
Oh yeah, Catherine O'Hara played Texie Garcia,
who I have no idea who that is.
And
but
Kathy Bates played Mrs. Green.
And was Mrs. Green, like, she was in one of the interrogation scenes or something? I think.
God, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought I recognized her.
Yeah,
but also, like, I guess you gotta kind of lean into it though. If you've got these recognizable faces, I understand there's different costumes that are camouflaging them, but you got to kind of lean into it so we're not, we, the audience, aren't having to determine the star power in a movie. Am I right?
I don't know.
No, you don't have to.
There's something fun about, Daniel Craig showing up as a stormtrooper. Like, I think there's something fun about sticking people in, especially like some of these people probably had one line.
Sure.
Right. Obviously we have Madonna, who plays Breathless Mahoney.
I
have no complaints about her performance. I don't think Madonna's a great actress, but I don't think you need to be for this role, right? And she was just kind of the 1930s showroom singer, ballroom singer type gal. right? I will say, while we're on the topic of Madonna, so this is something that surprised me.
Sure.
It surprised me a great deal. The film was made by Touchstone Pictures.
Okay.
But it was distributed by Buena Vista, which, for those that don't know, Buena Vista is a Disney subsidiary. Like, they were founded by Disney. Disney owns them, right?
Yeah.
And so I was just a little surprised that 1990 Disney subsidiary. And I don't know, I haven't looked at a list of Buena Vistas. Like, maybe Buena Vista is where Disney sticks a lot of their violent, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah.
Maybe, let's see, film library. Yeah, like, what? Highest grossing list of, no, not Disney Studio Films, you dolt. Anyways, right?
What?
Like, I was surprised the 1990 Disney subsidiary company was putting out a film, was distributing a film where Madonna gets as nipply as she does.
Well, and there's a lot of murder in it too. Like, poor what's his name?
But people are stupid like that, right? People are stupid like that. We can gun
people are stupid like that.
Oh, because the world in the film industry, because we can gun 100 people down, and if we don't show any blood, then it's not actually violence and it's fine. But if we show a nipple, then this is a pretty adult film all of a sudden, right? Like, it's
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with you, but I will say, like, well, actually, maybe I am disagreeing with you. Like, I didn't have any problems with what we did or didn't see with Madonna.
Right.
In the context, I wasn't actually queasy, but I was a little uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was expecting like a little light comic book movie here, and we're literally pouring cement on lips and then dumping him to drown to death. And
but keep in mind, I mean, Sin City.
No, but just wait. And then it's just like, oh, shrug and move on. And I understand, like, in the context of a silly comic book movie, I think maybe I'm taking it a bit too seriously.
Yeah, see, but there's like the superhero comic books, and then there's like comic books can get pretty, like, you know, there's, because like Sin City is a comic book based off a graphic novel, right? Like, so there's comic books, graphic novels out there that are downright pornographic. Right, like, and even like The Killing Joke, which is a Batman
I was just going to
novel,
reference that.
So like it's kind of one of those things, but no, I was just surprised. I was surprised that that 1990s Disney was okay with essentially topless Madonna. I mean, she's got a throw or whatever you would call that on, but it's fairly transparent.
And like you said, though, it is a subsidiary. So, I mean, I guess that maybe they considered it far enough removed.
Right. Yeah. This isn't Madonna's Nipples by Pixar. No. And it's, you know, which I hear has been shelved. I hear that project is no longer, scheduling issues. Once
they get Cars 4 under control, I think it's back on the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Warren Beatty, it's fine. I mean, I don't know the character of Dick Tracy prior to now. And so the fact that Dick Tracy seems kind of monotone and a little flat, maybe that's him. Right? Maybe, because the whole thing's got that like 1930s kind of straight man detective thing to it, and so I guess it's all in line with that.
Can I ask you a question? And I don't mean this as a slight on Beatty, because I'm not. Maybe he wasn't not authentic to Dick Tracy. Maybe he was. I can't comment because I haven't read the comics. I didn't think he played the part poorly. When I read his filmography, there's not as much stuff I've recognized. Is it a little odd that in a movie with so much famous acting and star power that there wasn't someone in the role that was a bit more equaling in star power to, Al Pacino and Dick Van Dyke and Kathy, am I off onto something there, or is Warren Beatty a bigger deal than I'm giving him credit for?
I mean, you've got Bonnie and Clyde there. You've got The Fortune. I mean, I think the problem is the majority of Warren Beatty's filmography is 60s and 70s. Right? Like between 1978 and 1990, he put out 2 films in the 80s. And he's put out only a handful of films since. And so maybe these 70 films are big deal films. I don't know. Right? Like, yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, without a movie like It's a Wonderful Life and Vertigo, would we be saying, what's the big deal about Jimmy Stewart? Maybe. Right? Although at the time, I'm sure, like, everything that he came out in, it was like, holy shit, it's Jimmy Stewart. Right? So, like, I don't know. Dean Jones. You know who Dean Jones is?
I do not.
Exactly. But Dean Jones, like, if you pull up Dean Jones's IMDb right now and you look at a picture of him, I guarantee you know this guy, because he was, for the longest time, if Disney was putting out a live action film in the 60s and 70s, Dean Jones was your guy. He was the biggest, most successful guy around, and he did interviews about how that, as a good Christian, whatever, that kind of fame and that kind of money ruined him and went to his head and made him a guy he didn't like. But Dean Jones was like That Darn Cat and Bonanza and the Ghost, what's the Blackbeard's Ghost and Monkeys Go Home and The Love Bug, like the first Herbie movie. Right? And the Shaggy DA. He played, like, which was a sequel to the Shaggy Dog. Dean Jones was in that. He plays the evil veterinarian that wants to kill Beethoven in the first Beethoven movie. Like, Dean Jones was the guy. But now the question is, well, who the hell's Dean Jones? Right? And it's just because I think it's not like they're huge stars from outside of our time. Because if I were to ask you right now, name 5 massive stars from the 1970s. Who are the 7 biggest stars in the 1970s? Oh, yeah. You probably don't have an answer. I mean, no. Probably Julie Andrews is Julie Andrews is probably on that list somewhere. Sure. Yeah. Maybe Dick Van Dyke. Maybe Christopher Plummer, but like but then who else? I mean, there were dozens. Right? There were dozens of them, but we just don't know who they are, and I think that that's probably what's happening here with Warren Beatty.
I won't disagree with you, because again, I'm on the fence about this, but all I would say to that is, in the weeds, I will comment, sure, with James Stewart, if he doesn't have It's a Wonderful Life and Vertigo, are we still talking about him? But in this context, the point is he does have those movies, unlike Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty doesn't have those. He's got Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, but
and Dick Tracy.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't consider those in the same notability as Vertigo and It's a Wonderful Life. Maybe that's just me, but I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I don't know. Bonnie and Clyde's massive, man. Everyone, even if you haven't seen Bonnie and Clyde, if someone references Bonnie and Clyde, you know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and Heaven Can Wait. I haven't seen Heaven Can Wait, but I know of it. Is that based on the people
or that specific film?
I mean, it's kind of one of those, if it weren't for the film, would we be talking about the people?
Actually, no, I'll take that back. I'll take that back because the film, the budget for that film was $2.5 million and it earned $70 million. So it wasn't just like a B-grade Hollywood.
Yeah, and $2.5 million in.
Okay, actually, I'll take that because it also had Gene Hackman in it. It had a lot of. Okay, so that is a movie. That is just me not knowing. I guess the only other thing I'll say, and this is a more bigger picture thing, is you're right. Maybe us not knowing Warren Beatty in the context of the time. But what I will say, back to my original point, I still know about Al Pacino. I still know about Madonna. So,
wow.
No, but I'm just saying the star power, I still feel whether this guy was hot tamales at the time, I wonder if it was just a bit of 1B going on. You know, your 1A talent and then your 1B talent. Again, I don't think it's necessarily a problem whether I'm right or you're right. He does like Warren Beatty does a decent job. He's in hindsight, the star power isn't as equal as it
sure.
maybe was at the time.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Favorite character, favorite actor for me in this film, just because we haven't covered him yet, is not in it much. But I loved every moment of Dustin Hoffman as Mumbles.
So again, another thing that took me a bit of time to understand who was playing that. I was going, where's Dustin Hoffman? Oh, that's really? Him. That's him.
Oh, I knew the second I saw him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah. I loved Dustin Hoffman as Mumbles. And then Dick Van Dyke was great, but then Dick Van Dyke wasn't, like, if you have Dick Van Dyke and he's not cracking wise or dancing or singing.
Yes.
Then it's kind of like,
what are you doing?
Dick Van Dyke's here, but we're not using him.
Yeah.
Right? And so that was kind of like, yeah, nice to see Dick Van Dyke. Very familiar. I mean, you could put that guy in 8 pounds of prosthetics and you'd know the voice.
Yeah.
Right? So that's nice, but it's not like, I don't know. Like the Dick Van Dyke's character, his appearance in this was not stand out for me in any way.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to be using that talent.
Thank you. Yeah. And then the kid's great. Right? The kid is great. Charlie Korsmo. It looks like that's his name. It also looks like he's still acting.
Okay, good for him.
I mean, well, you tell me if this is still acting.
Sure.
After this, in 1990, same year, he was in a movie called Heatwave. He had 3 movies come out in 1990. Men Don't Leave, Dick Tracy, and Heatwave.
Sure.
So the kid was hot.
Yep.
Right?
Kid was cashing in those checks.
The next year, he has 3 more movies. What About Bob, The Doctor, and Hook. Hook and What About Bob come out the same year.
Wow. Talk about... Wow. Okay.
Then 6 years later, 6 to 7 years later, 1998,
sure,
is his next film.
Okay.
Can't Hardly Wait.
Like that's what it's called?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, apparently they could wait 6 years, as a matter of fact.
Well,
but
his next film is 20 years later in 2018.
Oh man!
And then he's got something set to come out this year. So
that's an interesting career path. I got to be honest.
Yeah, probably went to school, did whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't like whatever. And I mean, he's not in this thing coming out this year. He's certainly not top billed. Like,
sure.
Nobody cares. But Sebastian Stan's in it, right?
That?
So it's. What do you mean? Like the Winter Soldier, Bucky.
Oh, okay.
And so he's not in things that are nobody cares about. Maybe nobody cares about them. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get a career going again. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
He exists, I can confirm.
He was in that. He was in he played the Mad Hatter in the Once Upon a Time series.
Oh, okay.
Show. Yeah, You know the show?
Yeah.
Have you watched the show?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's good. So yeah, and talking about the kid, I think that like the only thing in this film that felt like it had depth and meaning for me was his chemistry, his relationship with Dick Tracy.
Yeah, that's
right.
fair.
Like that, every moment of that was good. Right, Dick Tracy's response when he sees that the kid finally picked a name and it's Dick Tracy Jr.
Yeah,
Right, like I got almost choked up for a film that up until this point I'm like, and then in that moment I'm like, wow, that's powerful, that's cool, you know. And then he's got the, you know, and they almost had like this like Batman and Robin thing going on, right, where like now they're going off, the calls come through on the watch and they're going to go off in the car together. They got to head down to the bank or, you know, whatever it is, because there's been a murder or there's been a shooting or, you know, whatever it is. Yeah. And they're like a duo. He's going to rely on this inappropriately young kid to have at a murder scene. But whatever, right? Yeah. That's the Batman and Robin dynamic.
Yeah.
So that was great. I don't dislike the prosthetics in this film. I think it's a fun world that they've shown us.
Sure.
But they did zero world building. And I think that's where one of my big issues comes from. Is it feels like this movie is expecting or assuming that you are already a fan of the comic. There's no explanation for why does this guy look like he got run over by a lawnmower and nobody's concerned about it.
Right? No.
Why is it not a bigger deal that the person we're after doesn't have a face?
Right.
Yeah. Or, you know, like everybody just looks like, you know, somewhere between horrible car accident and ballsack face, and nobody, and that's just the world. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I have no issue with that. I like that there's a guy named Lips who's got like this extra wide mouth and the lips and whatever, and the flat top and the, you know, like cool. It's a fun world, but I don't get it. I don't understand why this is, and maybe the comic doesn't either. Right? Maybe it's because maybe in the 1930s you're just making a comic and you call a guy you call a guy Flat Top, and he, you know, that was how he was drawn in the 30s, was with a flat head and a big unibrow and some exaggerated features. And they just never stopped drawing him that way. And so when 1990 comes and you go to make the film, you decide artistically to literally lift those characters off the page. Maybe that's all it is. I don't know. But some world building would have been nice. Because there's one moment where Madonna says, he's like, Lips is eating something. He's like eating clams or something, super disgustingly. And she's like, I don't want to watch you eat because it makes me nauseous. And he says, it never used to make you sick. And she says, well, you never used to be a something. And she calls him something. I can't remember if it was like Gremlin or some, I don't think it was Gremlin, but it was something like that. And I don't know if that was just a slight. Like, I don't know if that was just her calling him like, you know, a rat or scum or disgusting or a pig or, you know, or whatever it is, or if that was, because when I first heard it I was like, oh, okay, hang on, because some people in this world look fine, they look normal, they look like normal people, and so it's almost like there's a separate race here, or there's a race of like mutated people. And I was hoping for an explanation. I was hoping for, oh, you know, it's, you know, whatever. It's this guy lives on the side of the tracks where the chemical plant is, or, you know, whatever it is. Right. But it just, that never came. And for me, that wrecked a lot of what was going on. Because I was like, I you know, I like the world, but I just wish I knew the why.
Right. And we don't get it. We don't get it.
No.
Yeah.
No. And because we don't get it, I don't get it.
Yeah. That's fair. What else do you need to cover? That might be most of what I need to cover as far as again, the Michael Bay explosion-esque action climax at the end too was just a fascinating choice for unloading a gun on a group of people that your romantic interest is in. What did you think about the romantic interest? I'm not sure. I think maybe it ties to maybe the point you made about the story being a little flat. I never really got their chemistry, so I'm not sure if it's a matter of their acting not interweaving well or just
which
not
romantic
well-written.
interest are we talking about?
The non-Madonna.
The non-Madonna. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get. I didn't understand the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're not living together, but he kisses her. So I guess they're just dating. Because then he does propose during the film. And I thought that was, I liked the proposal. I liked that the proposal was a callback to You're One in a Million. And he tossed her the ring and she didn't have to say anything. She just put it on and smiled. And that was, enough of a, like, I liked that. That for me was fun. But Dick Tracy is, scum. Because I just didn't, you effed up, right? Okay, you effed up, you kissed Madonna, right? Yeah. But she's like the blonde ballroom singer, she's pushing her boobs up into your face, flirting with you, she's got the red lipstick, it's the 1930s, you're the detective that can't be tied down, whatever, okay? Sure. And you kissed her. Yeah. And she came, the other girl came back with the melting pistachio ice cream and Dick Tracy got caught and so the other girl skips down and the mother of this girl who is clearly just like neck deep in the patriarchy is like, it takes a lot of understanding to love a man like that. And it's like, excuse me. You're basically telling her, well, it just takes a girl who's confident enough to be cheated on.
Who has low standards.
In order to, right? Who's got no self-respect is what it takes in order to. And I was like, okay. But then she forgives him and she goes back and you would hope Dick Tracy's learned his lesson because he spends a lot of this movie regretting that she's left and he's pining after her and he's, whatever. And then Madonna, who keeps trying to throw herself at Dick Tracy, right, is, there's another scene where she's like, okay, like, hey, like, tell me the truth. Like, you like me or you're into me or you think about me or, like, you like me the way I like you and you want me. That's what it was. You want me, right? And, and then Dick Tracy confesses to her. He says, what do you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you that I think about you? Okay, fine. I think about you, right? And it's like, okay, right? But like, I don't, and maybe I'm way out of line here. I don't know. I don't think that's, remove the fact that you've kissed her previously.
Right.
Right? You remove the fact that you've kissed her previously. I don't think it's a major issue that he's got a little bit of a crush on her, right? Because it's a superficial, skin deep. He thinks she's hot.
Sure.
Right? And she is. Okay? She's got because that's what she's trying to put out there, right? She's got like the push up this and the hair and the lipstick and she's a performer. That's her thing in the 1930s is to attract the men. Right. And so does he think about her? Sure. And I don't necessarily think that in and of itself is a big sin because, one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got when I was a younger man was from someone who I know has been married for like 40 years, right? And a very great well, I'm not going to say great relationship. Nobody's like, hey, well, we have the perfect marriage. They're lying to you. But it was like, has been married in a committed relationship for like 40 years and has said like, there will be times. It was an eye opener for me because until someone who's older than you tells you this, you don't realize this and you're just setting yourself up to think that you're a horrible person. There's something wrong with you. There will be times, even if you're committed and you're married and you're whatever, where you develop a crush on someone at work or someone, the cashier at the whatever, right? And it's not like it's not like I have feelings for you, I'm going to leave my partner for. No, it's, hey, we have fun chemistry. It's fun talking to you. And I don't know you. I don't even know your last name, right? Like, but I find you physically attractive and whatever, and you develop like the smallest, shallow, superficial crush. It's not acting on that keeps you in the clear, right? You can't be like texting that person. You can't be like, whatever. But if there's someone you find attractive and you find them attractive, it's the fact that even once everything is said and done, Dick Tracy kisses Madonna again as she's lying there dying. Right? Yeah. Leans down, kisses her. She's like the super villain at this point.
Yeah.
Leans down, kisses her, and then goes literally in the same scene, then leaves and goes back out to the other girl and plants one on her.
Yeah.
Like, hey, baby, I'm back and I'm committed to you for real this time. Like, it's just like.
That's actually true. I forgot all about that.
This was.
Because there was the kiss in the shipyards was, okay, you've crossed the line, but you live and you learn.
No, it was in their apartment.
No, wasn't it in the shipyards?
There was one in the apartment for sure.
No, you're right. It was in the apartment. Regardless, I'm not actually meaning this, but you live and you learn. But right. In the ending, it's mistakes. Like she got so hurt when that happened the first time, and to me it seemed like his non-Madonna friend was not that far off. You're playing with dynamite, man. Like, I don't know. Yeah. She's gonna see it again, and that's gonna be it.
Especially because just with the way the timeline goes, I'm pretty sure the ring's already in his pocket.
The ring was probably pressing against Madonna as they kissed.
She's like, oh, you just happy to see me, or is that a ring for the woman that you're actually supposed to be with?
Is that a ring for someone else?
Yeah.
Because I'm dying here.
Like, and you know what? There's... And then I go back and forth on this. Because, okay. I still think it's scummy. Right, I still think it was, but they weren't technically even back together at this point. Okay, sure, but your intentions, you probably have the ring already. Your intentions, whatever. I think there's something about like, it's kind of in the same vein as that, like the New Year's Eve kiss, where you can just kiss someone on New Year's Eve. Like if you're a single person and someone else is a single person, you can just kiss someone on New Year's Eve, and it's a New Year's Eve kiss. It's not, you're not dating now. It's not, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's like, not that's, I've never done that, and that's not my mentality, but it is a mentality. And so, there's something about like, I'm dying. Don't, why not? Like, kiss me. Right, like I don't know, and I can't even. I'm not doing it justice. I'm not putting it into words well. I'm not articulating.
Did Kylo Ren and Rey kiss at the end of episode 9?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the same thing, if I remember correctly. People were upset, saying, "Why did they kiss?"
Because they just went through something.
Yeah, and it was something
intense.
like, you know what? In this circumstance, it's not just it's not just A, B, and C of are we romantically interested? Are we kissing? So you're saying in this circumstance, Dick Tracy and Madonna are having a moment. Maybe it's not romantic. Maybe it's not the same kind of moment they were having before.
And I don't know.
Two humans having like this for him, it's a near-death experience. For her, it's a death experience.
Because the kiss is essentially the next level up from a hug. right? Like a kiss is just an embrace. And as long as you're not like putting your tongues in each other's mouths.
Well, who knows?
Then
she's probably gasping for air, so that tongue's going wherever it wants.
Then a kiss is an embrace, right? And it's like there are many cultures around the world that kiss each other on the lips as a greeting.
Sure.
Right? As an embrace, as a friendly embrace. And I'm not saying that I think that that's what Dick Tracy was doing. I think he's scum. I think he was like, I know you're dying, but how about a quickie, right? Like, I think that's... Right? Like, this was one Roger Moore away from sex in a boat as the credits roll. But I'm just saying that I get the concept, and I think there's merit to that idea, but I don't think that that's what Dick Tracy was doing here. As I said,
Fair.
I think he's scum.
Yeah,
I think he's scum. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But you can't wear a yellow suit like that and then not expect to, if you're married, you could be happily married, right? You put on an outfit like that and you go out the door, your wife's a fool, or husband, or whatever. You go out dressed in all yellow.
You're just asking for it. Yeah,
you're gonna be kissing. You're gonna be kissing.
Tale as old as time.
And your partner just has to understand that I look, sweetheart, I'm dressed all in yellow today.
all bets are off. All bets are off.
You're selfish to want these lips just to yourself. Yeah. No, I don't know. The guy's scum, but fun to look at. Kind of a shallow, like I don't know. I don't know. On a scale of 0 to 10, sir, is that where we're at? Are we ready?
I think that's where we're at.
What do you give Dick Tracy on a scale of 0 to 10?
I think a 5. I don't think I'd go any higher. I maybe toyed with a 6. I think 5 is there. I don't know if I'd give it a 4. Like, I don't think I'd say it's bad, but I think it just falls right into that on the fence in the middle, where if in a few years someone was like, yeah, let's watch it, my mind might remember some of the color schemes and elements that I was thinking, hey, I liked that. And then once I watched it, I reminded more of maybe the shallow storyline, the character limitations, and kind of the interesting bits that aren't explored to a fuller, like you said, world building and richer characters, and the limitations might be reminded of me. So I give it a right down the middle. There's equal things that I liked to disliked, and I gave it a 5 out of 10. What did you give Dick Tracy?
You just upset a lot of people, right? Because Dick Tracy's like, man, it's iconic. I think it's probably nostalgic for a lot of people.
Sure. I know.
So the Rotten Tomatoes audience score for Dick Tracy is 53%.
Audience.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
And I looked at that before the show, and I thought to myself, yeah. So I'm going to give it a 5.3. I'm going to agree with the audience score of Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, again, fun to look at. I almost got like some 1989 Tim Burton Batman Gotham vibes in a lot of the matte paintings and stuff. And so I liked all that. I liked that it was a movie that at times felt like a moving comic strip. But I didn't like a lot else. like it just didn't, I didn't dislike it. But I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I was like, it was fine.
Yeah.
That's fair. So that's kind of where that 5 comes in.
Yep.
It's sort of right down the middle. Take it or leave it. I didn't love it. Didn't do anything for me. I don't need to watch it ever again. Maybe I would if it was with people. It was like, oh, you haven't seen Dick Tracy? I think you would find this, because it's a movie where it would be fun to see someone else's reaction to. But I'm also not like burning. I'm not. I don't feel like an hour and 45 minutes of my life were wasted.
No,
having watched it. So
yeah.
What else did you watch this week, sir?
I've got. I was waiting a bit to kind of talk about them all at once, but I've watched. Since we've last talked about movies generally, I've watched
the Planet of the Apes films, and you're ready to review them.
No, I've watched the 3 Rush Hour films.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's
do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? No, man, nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth.
So, I mean, very resembling of the times. We got 1998, the original, 2001 Rush Hour 2, and 2007 Rush Hour 3. I will say, I remember watching them as a kid growing up. You know, you go for the neat Jackie Chan choreography at the time, the kind of the funny vibes. Some of the jokes were still kind of funny. Some of them aged really poorly as far as cultural, appropriateness. I gave Rush Hour 1 a 5 out of 10. It's right down the middle. I liked some of it. I disliked some of it. They got progressively worse. Rush Hour 2, I gave a 4. It was bad, but
really,
yeah. And then Rush Hour 3 got even worse. I gave it a 3 out of 10. It got quite watered down. If you can enjoy the original, what makes it great gets a bit watered down in 2 and is just completely diluted by number 3. So
yeah. See, I haven't seen Rush Hour 3, and I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
But it's so interesting to me because my understanding and my opinion is that Rush Hour 2 is something special. Like, it is far superior to the first Rush Hour.
I mean, I found it didn't land in some ways. I agree that their chemistry, just by having more on-air time by number 2, yeah, their chemistry is a lot better. So in some ways, yeah, some things are better. But I just found overall, maybe some of the magic was a bit lost from where the original one was. So none of them are perfect. I guess I will say the one underlying element of just Jackie Chan's incredible talents. Have some of his choreographed scenes are just insane, like in a good way. So I will just say there's always a kick out of that in all 3 of them. But the story got progressively just less anchored and a little bit out there, and the more you watched it. And by the time I finished number 3, I was pulling a Brady. I needed to be a completist and finish the whole trilogy. By the time I finished the 3rd one, I was going, wow, that was enough. That was enough. And I've got my Rush Hour fill for maybe quite a long time. What did you watch this week?
So surprising to me. Okay. I rewatched the Super Mario movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I was with people who hadn't seen it. It was kind of one of those,
What did they think?
I think they echoed a lot of, nice to look at.
Yeah.
Like, visually amazing. But just kind of
Yeah.
I watched Josh Hutcherson in Five Nights at Freddy's. No?
No, I've not. I've heard a lot about this film, but I haven't seen
it's a video game, first and foremost.
Oh, is it a video game?
Right? Like
My apologies.
Yeah, it's a movie based off a video game. No, like it is a movie, but it is based off a popular horror video game franchise.
So it's a movie based off a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I watched that. I think it was entertaining. I don't think it was scary. I think it was entertaining. There's a little bit of a mystery going on. They definitely put some... I've never played the game, so I don't know if this is... But like my understanding is there's not a whole lot of story in the games. Like it's pretty gameplay centric versus story centric, and so they've definitely built and baked some story into the movie to give it, some oomph. But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. And then I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I rewatched. I watched 2 other films. I rewatched Medicine Man.
Oh, I think you mentioned this last time about, maybe it was on the movie news. You mentioned it recently.
No, maybe I did. But the other one I watched is a movie called Fall.
Oh,
and it is it's on Netflix. You can watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
And it's basically about two girls it's a group of three friends, a guy and a girl, husband and wife, and their female friend. They're all rock climbers. And at the start of the movie, there's a horrible accident while they're climbing this, like they're quite high up. And the guy falls to his death.
Oof.
And the wife and the friend both watch it happen. We jump to a year later, and the wife is just, she's an alcoholic now. She's really struggling. And the best friend shows up out of nowhere and says, hey, I'm going to go, it's the anniversary this week of it happening. Yeah. I have this big climb planned. You got to come with me.
Jeez.
Right? Like, you got to come. And what they're climbing is a 2,000-foot TV tower.
What?
Like, communications tower.
Okay.
And, they climb up. And of course, just as they're getting to the top or whatever, this old, rusty, no longer in use tower and the ladder rips off the side of it. And then they're trapped 2,000 feet in the air above cell phone service, above, sitting baked in the sun. There's like buzzards flying around them. Like, it's this whole thing. And what I will tell you about this film, I recommend it. I do. It's low budget. And so there's like some green screen moments or whatever, like when the guy's falling, and it feels like when a guy falls in Cliffhanger from the 80s, right? Like it's just like, it's like, oh, okay, there's no money for that, huh? And so, but there aren't many of those moments, right? There's like maybe two like real janky CGI moments, and they're brief. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of moments where you spend time looking at them going, just do, like, you have a solution for the problem, right? You're like, just do this. Mm-hmm. Just do this. Why aren't you doing this? But that made it more fun than anything, because I watched it with someone else. And so we were both kind of like vocal about it. And it was kind of fun. There are some turns and some places and some story elements that this film goes that we didn't expect it to. Even halfway through, we're like, oh gosh, I did not think, like, it's just, this movie just changed. Holy, okay, here we go. Right, so I recommend it. The Fall. It's not super long. I think it's like 90 minutes.
Okay.
And it doesn't, even though it's one of those movies where the majority of it is just the two of them up on top of the tower, it doesn't feel like that, right? There's enough going on. There's enough development. There's enough, well, let's try this. Well, let's talk about that. Oh crap, now there's this issue. Okay, now there's a twist, right? Like, there's enough of that you're in it the whole time. I really recommend Fall.
Interesting. Fall or The Fall?
Fall. Just Fall.
Okay.
Yeah, 2021 or something.
Okay. Yeah.
20,
pretty recent.
23? No. Movie Netflix. (2022). Great year for movies about rock climbing. When a high-rise climb goes wrong, best friends Becky and Hunter find themselves stuck atop a 2,000-foot TV tower. Yeah. It's quite something. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan's in it.
Oh. Who's that?
Watchmen, The Walking Dead, Supernatural. Look up Jeffrey Dean Morgan right now.
Oh, yes.
P.S. I Love You. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And so but he's like the biggest name in it by far.
Sure.
Right? Sure. Like, he's like, and he just plays the one girl's dad. Like, he's hardly in it. Okay. He's in it about as much as they could afford to have him in it. Right. He was on set for one day.
If that. But
all right, sir, wrap it up.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We were here as long as we could afford it to. Check out our socials below, like, follow, subscribe. We appreciate your listenership. We appreciate your support. Speaking of support, check out our Patreon page, our merchandise page. It's ways for you to support the show, help us pay some bills, and we give you some perks back, whether it's the occasional bonus episode, some interesting clips and tidbits, whether it's bonus voting power, all the different tiers that we've got. Check it out. Give us a consideration.
As soon as we're done recording, Pete and I'm actually going to discuss with Pete very briefly an idea for some new Patreon content. So
perfect.
We're always expanding.
Always. So yeah, until next time, whether you're joining us for movie news and another vote, or whatever you're joining us for, we'll talk to you next time. Yeah,
and remember, if someone's dying, just kiss them.
I mean, ask first, but yes.
Well, yeah, but if they've also spent the last 3 weeks trying to throw themselves at you, and ruin your current relationship,
you don't need to ask in that context.
Just kiss them.
Yeah.